Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Morgan and I have my own art small business called Morgan's Creations. This video is going to be my Artist Alley vlog. I have been preparing for the last couple of weeks preparing for this Artist Alley. I mentioned it in my previous video, so go check that out. That is my Artist Alley prep vlog if you want to see more details and how I actually created the products and everything for this video. Today I'm going to bring you guys along with me for the Artist Alley. There's a library near me that is doing a fandom fest. They do it every year. It's basically like a kid-friendly version of Comic-Con, and they also feature an artist alley. So artists, comic book artists, just regular artists I guess, and other vendors and crafters, crafting businesses can come and we can vend, and the booth fee is free, so we can basically just sell our products for free here, which is incredible. It was a really amazing opportunity, so I signed up for it. I was approved, and also at the same time they're having their art gallery up. It's called Gallery 705, and for this month for the event they're featuring fandom related artwork, so I did also submit some of my pieces for that as well. First I'm going to show you just a few last minute things I did to prepare. Sorry the lighting is so bad. I filmed this at night and the indoor lighting that we have I guess just does not pick up very well on camera, so sorry it's so dark. So this was a few days before the Artist Alley. The first thing I did to prepare was sleeve my art cards. I bought standard regular trading card sleeves and they work perfectly for these art cards. So I'm sleeving all of the ones that are going to be in my tiered display. I can fit 20 of them in my clear acrylic display stand, so all of those ones I'm going to sleeve. I have 40 art cards and I'm only sleeving 20, so the other 20 that I'm not going to sleeve, those ones I'm putting in the binder. I have a binder with trading card sleeve pages. If I sleeve the cards, they don't fit in the binder, so that's why I'm not going to sleeve the ones that go into the binder. If somebody buys one that was in the binder, I'm just going to sleeve it for them. I also labeled the binder by fandom, so I decided to make some labels myself. I just used some small sticky notes. I wrote on the back of them, I labeled them by fandom, so I wrote that on the back of the sticky note and then I stuck it onto the page with the corresponding fandom, so that way people can flip through and see the labels. It just makes it easier for people to find what they're looking for. The next morning I packed for the Artist Alley. I have two tiered display stands that I'm using for the Artist Alley. One of them is going to be for my watercolor bookmarks and the other one is going to be for the art cards. So I decided to set them up and build them beforehand. That way I can save time for setting up on the day of the show. I don't have to build anything. It took me 5 to 10 minutes to put each one together, so it saves time if I can just build that at home the day before. So I put those stands together and here is a look. The one for the art cards, the bigger one, is new. This is a newer purchase that I made. I also tested out my prints in the bins. I have a lot of prints, so these bins are pretty full. I also packed the bags. I put all of my supplies, my inventory, and anything else I might need into these bags. So after I packed my bags, everything was good and ready to go, so that way on the day of I can just put the bags in the car and leave. I like packing beforehand, it just helps to save time. I also needed to frame my signs. I have a few signs. I have a framed picture of my payment QR codes, and I also framed my price signs. I had 6x4 frames. For some reason my measurements were a little bit off, so when I printed out the signs and I cut them out, they were really small compared to the frames, so there was some extra space in the frames and I didn't really have time to reprint everything and fix it. I decided just to leave it, but next time for my next craft show I'm definitely going to make sure that the signs are big enough for the frame. I also taped the prices for the prints onto the boxes. So here I am setting up. I don't have a ton of setup footage. It only took me about 30 minutes to set up, so I was done by around 9:45 or 9:50. I got there around 9:15. There was also no place that I could put my phone to film a time lapse, so I don't have any time lapses, but I did take a few clips of me setting up and putting everything together on my booth. So here I am putting my items in the bins and the display stands. The event was 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I got my first sale around 10:30 a.m. I was also able to capture a few clips of transactions that I had. So here I am like interacting with customers, handling cash transactions, bagging items. I tried to get as much footage as I could, but a lot of it was very quick and unexpected. So if I could tell somebody was going to buy something, I would turn the camera on and hit record. And that's how I captured these clips. But sometimes it would be unexpected and somebody would just come up and instantly purchase something. So I didn't really have time to set up the camera to film. So there were a lot of sales I made that I was not able to capture on camera, but at least I was able to get a few clips of me bagging items and handling customers and stuff like that. It just went by so fast and I was really busy, so I couldn't always worry about filming and I didn't want to make people wait, you know. I kind of have to find a balance of what transactions I can film and when I just need to take the customer as quickly as possible. I walked around and I got a clip of my table. This is around halfway through the event, so it's been about 2 to 3 hours at this point. There are some holes in my displays from where things have sold, so it's going pretty well at this point. A few hours later, the event was over and it was time to clean up and tear down, and I got my last sale at 2:51 p.m. Again, there wasn't really a good place to put my camera, so I didn't film a time lapse or anything. I just took a few clips of me breaking down. It took me like 10 minutes to clean up. It was pretty quick. I was busy throughout the entire artist alley. Super grateful for all of the sales that I made. Some of my artwork was also featured in the gallery in the same library at the same time, so my originals were hanging up on the wall for display, and I also had prints of those originals, and a few people even noticed. They were like, hey, I saw this piece of art hanging up on display and now I see you have prints of it. I could say, yeah, the originals are hanging up and you could purchase a print here, and somebody did purchase prints of the artwork I also had hanging up. I'm gonna break down my experience and then my sales. So let's start with my experience. I used to attend this event as a kid, so it is kind of like a full circle moment getting to come back as a vendor. This artist alley was on Saturday, April 18th. The setup started at 9 and the event was 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. I got there a little past 9, maybe around 9:15. It took me about 30 minutes to set up. My booth was very simple, very minimalistic. As you saw, I was only bringing like 4 different types of items, so I only needed one 6-foot table, which they provided. They also provided 2 chairs. I just had my signs, some of my displays, my binder, some signs, not really any decorations. Unfortunately, I did not have my other table covers. I couldn't find the red one I used to use. For this, I thought it might be too Christmassy, so I just decided to use some of my old table covers. I wish I had a better looking table cover. I don't think it really affected my sales at all. So the new products that I created for this event, as you guys saw, were some watercolor bookmarks. I call them mini bookmarks. They are 2 by 5 inches. I'm pretty sure I'm almost completely sold out of those now, and I also made ACEOs, which stands for art cards, editions, and originals, but they're basically like little mini art cards. I call them mini original acrylic paintings, and they ended up being my best-selling product. If I remember correctly, I sold 16 of them. I made 40. I went into this artist alley with very low expectations, almost no expectations. This was my first time attending this event, so I really did not know what to expect. I didn't really think people would come to this event to spend money. I didn't think that the artist alley would be super popular. I thought most people wouldn't be spending money here, but I was actually wrong. The event was all ages. I mostly saw families with really little kids and some teenagers as well, but all of the age ranges were interested in my items. I had little kids buy my stuff. I had teenagers, older people, adults, middle-aged people, men, women. I also had a couple of card payments as well. Once I set it up, it usually works, but this time around the swipe feature was not working, which has never happened to me before. So instead I did the Apple Tap to Pay. So people could use Apple Tap to Pay, or they could tap their card with my card reader. So luckily that worked, and that was used as a backup backup. I really hate like having to wait on the technology, and it's kind of embarrassing when it doesn't work, but luckily people were nice about it. I did have to pay some fees with that, which I'll talk about a little bit later, but most of the transactions I had were cash. But it was very, very busy. There was a lot of foot traffic. It was very steady throughout the day. Even towards the end, it was still fairly busy. I think I was the only one with art cards. I didn't get a chance to walk around and see everybody's booth, but at least around me and in my area, I was the only one with the art cards and original paintings. So I always like being like different like that and kind of standing out. A lot of people had prints. I also had prints. I think prints were one of the most popular items, as well as stickers and keychains. My area was U-shaped and I was on the end of the U. I feel like it was a good spot. It was a pretty popular spot as well. The people were really nice. It was a really nice community. I got a lot of compliments, a lot of sales, a lot of people just talking to me about art, and I did see a lot of familiar faces as well. I had so many different people come to visit me, family members, old co-workers, some of the librarians, some people that I know from around the community, some people who have seen me at my other craft shows came here and they also saw me here today. So it was really nice to see some familiar faces and I really appreciate it. So huge thank you to everybody who stopped by my booth to see me, or just to anybody who stopped by my booth to check it out or made a purchase. So I appreciate everybody who showed up to support me. My table neighbors were really nice and friendly as well. So overall, it was a really nice, great experience. Here is a breakdown of what I sold. I sold a good number of bookmarks, a couple of magnets, a few prints, and like I said, I sold about half of my ACEOs. I had 17 transactions and I sold 27 items. And like I said, I did have a few card payments, and every time somebody pays with their card or through PayPal, there is a payment processor fee. So the total amount that I had for fees was $1.53, so that I do have to subtract. The booth fee was free, and I did not buy anything specifically just for this craft show. How I look at it is that I have some things that were general business expenses that I'm going to be using throughout the year, like the bags, my display stands, some of the art supplies and stuff like that. I didn't necessarily buy it just for this show. I bought it for my business in general, so I'm not going to count it as an expense just for this show. So technically this entire show was all profit. I would have bought that other stuff regardless. I just happened to buy it in April. So my total net profit is $141.47, which is amazing. I'm so happy. That is way more than I expected. So I'm super happy and grateful for that. So I'm really hoping I will get the opportunity again to attend this Fandom Fest Artist Alley next year. I had a really great experience. Lots and lots of sales as well, which I'm very grateful for. In the comments, let me know your thoughts on my video. Let me know if you have any ideas for me. Just let me know your thoughts on this Artist Alley vlog. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!